And we have bananas in chat from lots and lots of people. The Black Ranger PL, Fira Lol, Doomio Lag, Mr. Merc 560, Surprise Tolper, sneaking in some puffer fishes with those bananas, jeez. Trying to get me stung, are ya? Welcome everyone to another live stream here on twitch.tv/Asuma. That's where the live streams happen. We got Doomiom Lag resubscribing for 18 months in a row, saying 18 months, that's 2 babies. Indeed, thank you for 2 babies worth of support. That's the currency we use on here on Twitch. We measure things by the baby. It's a strange measurement system, I know. We've got to brew up some potions. We're going to be working in the Nether, potentially falling into lava. So I figured we should play safe today. Hashtag play safe today. That's our hashtag of the day. We now have hashtags of the day. Didn't know we had those before I started streaming. Rashinka1984 is here resubscribing for 18 months in a row, saying here's another 2 babies. Do you know what we should actually do? It would be a great tradition if we had a place to put the babies, or maybe like make little baby arts of like baby Asumas. Oh, imagine a massive pile of them. That would be the weirdest thing. A massive pile of baby Asumas. Oh, it's actually freaking me out a little bit. What a weird thought. We probably don't need to repair anything in my inventory. Armor's good. We just need some potions. Let's lay down some shulker boxes for inventory management organisation-ness. So I've got dirt. I think the dirt. Yeah, pinch those 2 from over there. Been working on some projects. Got some leftover untidy inventory that we need to stop. You know, stop, sort out. We also got things to talk about today, so there will be some things to talk about. Hey, I got things I need to keep in my head to remember to mention to y'all. We'll do that in just a moment. Just want to get the... Wasn't there like 2 gaps and one of them had dirt? Oh, it must be that one there. There we go. Ah, I need more space. Right in there. So sands. Yeah, I don't think I'm really gonna need. I don't think I'm gonna need like a shulker box for what we're doing at all, really. Actually, no, we will. I need. Yes, that would be the most. That'd be the material that I need. Right, so I need to take one of these with me where we're going. We're going to be starting work on a massive project today, peeps, for our Nether hub this season. We'll talk about that in a moment. Cuplex says X with his circular reasoning. We've got things to talk about today because we've got things to talk about. Yeah, just... I'm very poor at multitasking and I'm desperately trying to keep things in my brain space. You know? So how do we make fire resistance again? Isn't it just that? I think it's just that. Sweet, so that should start brewing. Right, speaking of brewing, I got a hot brew of tea here. It's not ready for drinking, so in about 12 minutes from now, peeps, we're going to need some shiny tea reminder emotes in chat. Terrace Queen says, Asuma, admit it, you subscribe to your channel with 3 different accounts. I admit it, peeps, I am subscribed. Wait a minute, I'm subscribed to my channel with 2 accounts. No, technically a 3rd, yeah. I am actually subscribed to my own channel with 3 other accounts. X2 is subscribed. I believe my own personal one is subscribed. And I think the official Hermitcraft channel is subscribed. I think it's subscribed to all the hermits. But that one's technically not mine, right? So, maybe not. 2.5. We got Bungy Ed. 5,000 subscriber with Amazon Prime. Thank you ever so much, buddy. Appreciate it. Also, did I read out Diaz resubscribed for 10 months in a row? 10 months, 2 more, and we have a year. Thanks for all the entertainment. No problem at all. I also believe that Twitch has changed how it works a little bit. I don't think you have to have a sub streak anymore. If you subscribe, you know, now, and then you subscribe again in a year, you'll have 2 months in a year. Molmo says, what about Asuma no ads, or does that exist anymore? That's not a proper channel. That's a no ad channel, and I think it's, I don't know. You know, they sort of announced that they were removing all of that, and now of course you have the join button instead of like a advertisement free channel, and then you got, you know, YouTube Premium as well. So I don't even know what the deal with that thing is anymore, but YouTube sent out a letter saying that they had stopped it at one point. So Pixie Druid is here doing cheers, throwing bits, saying good morning X and friends. I just spent 5 hours baking pastries. Wow, that sounds cool. I don't know about the 5 hours bit, but I now want to bake a pastry. I've not baked a pastry. That's something that I want to do. I like cooking. Cooking's therapeutic. It's relaxing. That sounds great. I want to bake a pastry. Where should I go? Let's go... Yeah, actually, let's go through this portal. And I'll explain stuff in a moment. So, 2 important things that you need to know about today. One is in the title. Later on today, DocM is doing his charity live stream here on the Hermitcraft server. So if you want like a whole day of streaming after me, Doc will be doing his charity event. So make sure to stick around for that, or at least come back later and check out Doc. The other thing is that the vote for the next... Speaking of which, the crazy madman himself, Good Times to Scar, who built this incredible, gorgeous, unbelievably amazing build right here. His cat Jelly is in the vote for one of 3 cats that are going to be put into the Minecraft game. And you can vote for this. And my moderators are sharing the link. Zapdos, thanks for putting it in chat. That'll be shared throughout. So if at any point in time today... Where am I going? If any time you have today to hop over to Twitter and vote, please go vote for Jelly. You know, Scar's an amazing person. He totally deserves to have his cat put into the game, and his cat made it into the final 3, so there is a poll that you can vote on, and we can help get Jelly into Minecraft. There are skelly butts around here. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Can I hide in this house? What is this building even used for? It's just empty. Surprise Tolba says, what does X do in his free time? Exercises with an X. It was a pun. Well done. Well done. We got another noise in the ear. Herleen Pete has subscribed with Amazon Prime. Herleen Pete, thank you for your subscription. I appreciate you using the Prime on me. To all you peeps that do know, because probably everyone knows by now, you can use Amazon Prime to subscribe to someone here on Twitch. Right, the area that I'm looking for is just over here. You're probably thinking, why am I looking for an area? It's because I'm unprepared, okay? Like, I haven't had all... I spent... Yesterday was a full day. It was a 20 minutes at the end of the day to watch a bit of Netflix and then fall asleep. That was my day yesterday. Today's going to be not as bad, but pretty similar, because we're undertaking this mega project. So I've been working crazy on getting stuff done. And it's just been mad. But I haven't had time to properly prepare for what we're going to do right here. So we have to do some estimations. Somewhere around here is the middle of the whole area, right? So I need a calculator. This is the extent of my preparations. So we have 3, 1, 12, which we're going to divide by 8. So in the Nether, that's... Apparently it's 1.5. What? Calculator, please. Let's try that again. 3, 1, 2... divided by 8 is not 1.5, it's 39. Thank you, calculator. Don't know what's wrong with you. Okay, then we have 960 divided by 8 is 120. Wow, that went nice and easy. Also, they're both negative. Right, those are important numbers that we need for today's live stream, basically. Now we've got to head through to the Nether. Let's go... I want to walk over... Yeah, look at that. I want to walk in that direction. Now this is the scale of building that I really enjoy, because that is grabbing your attention from far out here, and it just makes you want to go towards it. We got a donation here, noise in the ear from MJ Taylor 194, saying, X, do you think Endermen feel pain when they teleport? I don't think that they do. They definitely take pain when they go in the water, and when you hit them with your sword, your slasher. But when they teleport, they do make a right thudding sound, don't they? Vroom, and they're here. I don't think they do. And also, from a technical standpoint, we know that they don't. Like, they don't actually take damage when they teleport in-game. If that was that might have been the actual question. Anyway, thank you so much for your donation, man. The support, as always, is appreciated. There is a portal straight ahead. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. Just vote for Jelly, says Hacker Hands. Took me a second. Yeah, peeps, click the link to the tweet when you see it in the chat and go vote for Jelly. Just to say, Jelly is #1 on the votes, says Ninja Kid. Yes, I'm very aware, but there's still days to go. Many things can happen, and you know, I really love. I'd love it if Jelly won, because you know, Scar truly deserves it, and it'd be a wonderful thing for him to have his cat immortalized in the game. I mean, if you were to rank best players in Minecraft, I mean, Scar might be one of the best when it comes to building. You know, he might literally be the best. Give Grian his slime blocks, says Toby. His slime blocks? What do you mean? Give him his slime block. If they're his, he's probably already got them. Okay, so we need to head to those coordinates. So 120 is around here. Okay, and 39. Right, now before y'all start getting absolutely crazy and screaming, please understand that this Nether hub here will not remain. And if you want to know more about why, I'll talk about it in my episode. I think Wells has already talked about it in his episode. So before the alarm bells start ringing, everything I'm doing here is fine. We have discussed it as a group. We have a proper Nether hub design now, and I'm going to start work on some important stuff to do with it today. So it's that block there that's the middle, right? Or is it this one? Right, this is our estimated middle. We need to get that set up straight away. Riffraff says, screams! No, stop screaming! Hi X, what macro programmer do you use? Also, please butcher my name. Says MC_DP. I didn't butcher it. Sorry, you asked for it to be butchered. Mucked up. I'll call you mucked up. Is that alright? I use AHK. If you just search for AHK macro, you'll probably find it. We got a noise in the ear. It's Ollie95XZ gifting a sub to Lavrelli for 11 months. Ollie, thank you so much for supporting the community. As always, your support here is appreciated, and I do indeed hope that you enjoy the stream. So that's the middle. We need to make a staircase down to this middle, and this needs to go at a particular height. One thing I didn't do though is make the blocks for the staircase. And it's very important that I get this right from the get-go. So I've got some considerations to make here. Also, what is that? Oh, I know what that is now. Yeah. We need that. So we need our crafting bench. We need that. And I guess we will use this to make a staircase. Voila. Okay, so the height this is going to be at. I need to think about other things in this area as well. Spice Tolbert says, X, are you sure it's a good thing to weaponize the entire Hermitcraft viewer base to vote? It's not a problem. Like, it's not against any of the rules that the Minecraft, like the competition, the way it's outlined, there's no rules against YouTubers or people who have big influence using their influence to make something happen. In this community, we are always going to have the problem of YouTubers having massive influence. This isn't a matter of anything particularly serious or important, right? It's just a cat skin. So I don't see it as a problem, really. And we're playing by the rules, so it should be absolutely fine. Okay, so this block right here is essentially pretty flat throughout. Let me double check the other side. It goes down a couple of blocks. That's kind of important. Because we need to leave our current Nether hub usable for a while. So we need to actually start from this level here, which is, what block are we looking at? So we're looking at block, why can't I see it? 58. 58 needs to be the head height of the player, so they're able to walk through here. And I'm going to need some, like, I'm going to have to use this for now. Okay, please don't kill me. Right, so that's the middle of the hub project. So 58 being the head height means the floor would be 55. Oh, literally that. Okay, look, here's where the previous hub is. Excellent. So with this being the floor that we walk on, that needs to be glass. I just realised I need some more materials here, really. Oh, wait, but I have glass. Okay, I'll use that glass for now. So this needs to be a glass block. Below it needs to be whatever. And then below that needs to be glowstone. So glass. Right, I better go get a light source. And I'll get some signs as well, because I need to leave notes for the other hermits here as well, I guess. Apparently Jelly is now 45% of the votes. Excellent. Thank you ever so much for voting, peeps. How do you play music while streaming, says Fusion? I mean, I just open up VLC Media Player and put some music in there. It's pretty simple. Okay, so we got our signs. What I needed was a light source. And I said glowstone, I could use anything. Actually, this is far more disposable at this point in time. Right, and we've established that that block there is where the glass is. Then we have a random block. Then we have sea lantern, and then we have slabs. Okay, I'm remembering it all correctly, I believe. Random block glass. Let's put the glass here. Okay, now I'm going to put some signs. Rough center of future hub. Optifine is already available for 1.13.2, says the spacebar. Now, unfortunately, it's super buggy. Oh, I didn't really finish that sign properly. Rough center of hub and glass layer. Rough center of hub and glass layer. This one's just going to be a material layer. Light layer. And then slab floor. Okay, so that's the bottom of the hub, the slab floor. What we need to do is go 185 blocks in each direction. That's not actually true, is it? I'm glad I thought that out loud now, instead of after placing all those blocks. We also still need a staircase to get down to here. I should have built the staircase over to the side by one block. Let's make our way back up here. I also need to stop using the silk touch pick at some point. Let's get our staircase in around nowish. Can I put you there? Yes, that's the way we'll do this. Right, and there's something else on my mind again now. I feel like I've got a, hey, don't forget about that super duper important thing in my head, but I can't remember what it was, so... Ugh. There's something on my mind. We got a noise in the air. It's Baker826 subscribing with Amazon Prime. Baker826, thank you so much for your Amazon Prime subscription. I hope you enjoy the stream today and have a good time. Let's repair this a little bit. We don't need to leave it like so. And we're not really using this here, we're using that space. And now we just need some more stairs. Tea Time X, the Soundwave Hope, Ollie95 with the tea reminders. Y'all are a little bit late, okay? I actually took note. You're 4 minutes late! This is unacceptable. I cannot drink cold tea, okay? 4 minutes when it comes to drinking tea can be a matter of life and death, people. Let this be a lesson to you. I'm going to drink my tea anyway. Let's see how it is. No, I appreciate it. I'm messing with you. I appreciate the tea reminders. Oh, wow. That's tasty. Rex Raptor says, hey X, what are your PC specs? If you go to my website, it's all on there. Because I can't remember right now. I don't remember. I don't recall. I got no memory of my PC specs. Yeah, okay, that was the thing. Where did it go? Oh, I moved it out. Right. Let's put that there. Okay, so now we've got our way straight down to what is potentially the center of the entire area. Our next job is to go out in different directions by... Oh, that was poor. By certain amounts. I think also now is a good time to start using this pick. And I need to calculate those amounts. So the hub itself will be about 195 blocks across. But that's diagonal. But that's still... No, that's still 100 and... Oh, goodness me. Asuma's Girl in chat says, about to go buy some tea. What kind do you like? I like English breakfast every day. Cause it's every... No, I won't. English afternoon. A Sam is really good. But I'm trying to get myself on the decaf. And I was shopping at Sainsbury's yesterday. I'll tell you, Sainsbury's is expensive, alright? They try and lure you in with their Nectar card and their coupons, but you always spend more money there. And at Asda, jeez, I feel like I'm advertising, you know, shops now. Which is not... Gee, I am an idiot. I needed to get some numbers before I walked over here. Yeah, like a box of decaf tea is £3 in Asda. The same box in Sainsbury's is £4.30. That's £1.30 more expensive because you shopped in a different shop. That is ridiculous. A lot of their stuff is like that. I have a pretty good memory for like remembering the rough prices of things. Like tomatoes, when I first moved into this place and had to start doing more shopping on my own, tomatoes were like 45p. They're now like 70. But they're always about 30p more expensive at Sainsbury's. Calplex says, Sainsbury's is Dan capitalism. Is Asda the communism then? With its cheap prices. So if I'm thinking about it correctly... Okay, yeah, this is why we're doing this test. Because I've got the size and layout of this thing in my head. So if we go in that direction, we are taking down the X number. Okay, that's cool. So we're going to see how far this thing goes down as I walk to my base. Because if I'm thinking about it correctly, it's about 190 blocks. And I believe Mumbo's portal should be included in that direction. So let's round it up to, it was 39, let's round it up to 40. So once we're at 150, we're pretty close to the edge of the hub. Now that would put Mumbo's portal... So this is like 100. So we've got about 140. I feel like that's a little bit too close. But I was surely not in this area. Okay, and that would make it about 190. Maybe I might literally just have been off it by a tiny amount. Peeps, I'm gonna make sure we don't make any big mistakes today. We got some grindy stuff to do. We don't want to get the numbers wrong. I'm gonna quickly open up some software on my computer and double check. The Useful Shark says, "Good night, X. It's the morning. What are you talking about?" Okay, I just need to open up this image for our Hermitcraft hub. You'll find all about it in my Tuesday episode of Hermitcraft. I explain in great detail what it is we're building. For today, we're just going to do some of the jobs for it. Okay, so Season 6, Nether Hub. And that is the image that I'm looking for. I think it's going to end up being 193, 191. And do you know what? Looking at this thing now, yeah, I think I've measured it correctly. What I would like to do, though, is a quick thing. Okay, so that's... Oh, uh-oh. That is not what I expected. Well, I should be very glad that I just did this double checking, because this was not what I expected to see. This might actually be... I might have got on my maths very wrong here. Okay, let's tone that one down. Right, that's better. So, 260, 130. Alright, we're going to go 130 blocks in each direction from that point to be safe, because my mathematics has been off and I need to double check some things now because of that. I'm actually... Oh, wait. I've had the number 195 in my mind. I think it was 135 now that I think about it. Which makes... Okay, this makes total sense. So if we're standing here, then the edge of the hub is here and Mumbo is just inside the hub. And that makes so much more sense. Aren't I glad? I had 195 in my head. It turns out it's 135. Whew, okay, so now we got the right numbers. We're gonna go 125 in each direction, just so we got some leeway in case that's not the exact center. Which is what I'm gonna calculate later. I'm gonna get the exact center of this hub, but we need to start showing the hermits where to start digging, because we have to clear out an absolutely bonkers side amount of space together. So from here we're gonna go. What did I say? 135 was the number, so we'll do 125. So if I make lots of slabs, that's 128. Let's do that. Let's just go 128. Yeah. Alright, this is good. Do you like the seaside, says Acroboy Gaming. I hate the seaside. It's full of sands, things in the water. We should nuke the seaside. Peeps, are you hashtag nuke the seasides? We need to get rid of these seasides that are... Oh, they're my pet peeve, they are, those seasides. Oh, there's crabs, there's fish, there's seagulls making noises. Okay, I'm messing with you. Mandatory statement of X's goofiness after being a fool. That's what we always require. Nuke the whales, says Bev Starrunner. What is the origin of that thing? Isn't it like a joke from The Simpsons? Says the turtle man, says the one with a chicken. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, gonna get myself into trouble now. XZN says, what are you doing? I'm streaming Minecraft. I know that's not what you're really asking. We're laying down some of the foundations for our Nether hub this season. Hey X, what are you doing today? Says Spacewalker. Good question. We are laying down some of the foundations for our Nether hub this season. Let's have some more tea. That is some good tea right there. I am the Rick has resubscribed for 4 months in a row, saying, "Hey X, how have been? How have been? I have been good. How have you been?" Appreciate your support, of course. Taz Queen says, "Hey X, do you remember any viewers for your stream, especially me? I have never read out your name several times before. Definitely haven't." I also remember no one's name at all from streaming. It's really weird. And Chris J102, our regular here on the live stream, always turning up to hang out and exchange messages back and forth. Chris J, glad to have you here, a regular on the stream, of course. Saying, tasty tea time, TTT. Appreciate your cheers and your bits, man. Hope you don't mind me with the trolling. Oh, I'm in such a trolly mood today. Also, it's super dark around here, isn't it? This is bad for streaming. This is a podcast stream now. We need some deep subject matter because I'm going to be doing some super grindy stuff, you know, and I don't have Optifine on. I think it's actually worth just rebooting for Optifine. I'm going to start doing that now. Chris J, thank you for your bits. Badger Spanner is here doing a cheer. I'm getting it all wrong. You're not doing a cheer, are you? You're doing a donation. Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. Saying, oh God, it's too early for maths. It is, isn't it? It is too early for maths. Luckily, we've done all of the maths. We're just placing blocks now. I'm just selecting Optifine, and we're going to boot up Optifine now. In fact, while that's loading, I'm just going to close this, which means you should see my secret camera account in a second. Chris Chase is glad to be here. X, glad to have you. Glad to have you today. Welcome, everyone. Who does the most Hermitcraft admin, says McDup. That would be yours truly. I do all the administrative stuff, pretty much. Okay, so I've got now the actual account that we're going to play from. Oh, but is it in the wrong name? It's probably in the wrong name, isn't it? Oh, there's always something. Cuplex says, podcast, can you please discuss the evils of capitalism? The evils! The inherent evils of that capitalist society that puts food in certain people's mouths. Maybe not everyone's, but... Geez, the evils of capitalism. Cuplex, I don't like... I'm interested. I'm interested in learning about this type of system, that type of system. But if we're gonna start broadly palleting things as evil. Oh, the evil capitalism. Then we're going to miss out on some of the good things it can do. I like to hear discussions about things like different systems of governance and running from a perspective of, you know, actually getting into the grits of how these things work and what they can do. Because everything in life seems to have, you know, the yin-yang. There's good and there's bad, right? And so I'd rather learn as much as I can about this stuff without, you know, jump into this idea of, oh, it's all evil. Because, you know, capitalism has certainly done a lot of good. It's made a lot of, you know, it's made the world turn for many years. And in doing so, yeah, some people have been on the short end of a stick. Lots of people have benefited from it as well. It's a very tricky thing to weigh up and figure out exactly, you know, what the true value of it is or measurement of it is. So I prefer just to like try and learn as much about it as I can. And I'm personally, I'm a little bit critical. I think there are some big glaring flaws. One of them being that because the profit motive is the main drive to make money, that we will see things that will take advantage of people's health and well-being in order to make a profit. And can waste resources and energy, and, you know, poor decisions can be made to protect businesses' interests, especially when it comes to the environment, you know. And for those things, I'd be very critical of it. But you know, it's hard to really say because we don't live in like a test world environment where we can see what would have happened if we had made different decisions. So everything's linear moving forward, and having a discussion about it and being informed would be far better for individuals than just, you know, treating it as if it's black and white. This thing's great, but that thing's terrible. Surprise Tolba says capitalism isn't trying to be useful to the people, but at least communism tried. Well, a large part of what makes capitalism go forward is that it gets goods to people, right? It serves people on an individual premise that you can, you know, work, earn money, and, to oversimplify, and buy goods that other people are exchanging. Communism is the idea that all of that should be organised by the state and that everyone should have, you know, I think equality of outcome as well as, in fact, maybe not even equality of opportunity, just equality of outcome. You know? Chris J says, you sitting there makes it look like a loading screen. Oh, good God! Well, it doesn't matter. All I've been doing is digging. Why can't I not remember? Simple things. Oh, don't forget to swap the screen back, I said to myself, and I forgot. Also, this has no sound because I've been changing settings for the camera app. Metamorphic Mike says, deep thoughts with X. That's what we want today. We need some subject matter. Let's have some discussion today, you know. Feel like we haven't done that in a while. I always like to talk about stuff. Like, I spend a lot of my time listening to podcasts, audiobooks, like filling my brain with stuff. Okay, now I'm not making a statement like I'm smart. God knows, I listen to these things from smart people, and it's in one ear and it's out the other, and I've forgotten about it in moments. But I enjoy listening. I listen to Neil, that man with a name that always confuses me. There's DeGrasse, there's Tyson, and there's Neil. Put him in a blender, you got his name. I listened to his Astrophysics in a Hurry audiobook. Absolutely loved it. What a great book. To anyone who likes sciencey stuff, but perhaps, you know, you don't want to hear about the universe and the cosmos in that kind of boring, look at this crazy equation that makes no sense to a normal person type stuff, right? He's the perfect person to like latching on to all of that curiosity that we have about what's going on out there, what's happening in the cosmos, and extracting the really interesting stuff and putting it into a nice digestible thing for you to enjoy, you know. I didn't bring like a little, I was supposed to bring a shulker box for putting in like, you know, items that I'm accumulating that aren't terribly useful. I forgot to do that, so that's not good. I think I'm going to throw away the netherrack as well, just because. Or maybe we should set up some chests nearby and just have them there to sort of say, hey, if we ever want this netherrack, here's a bunch of it. I am the opposite. I like science about the universe, says Spacewalker. Oh, the cosmos is that's the same field, you know. So if you like that stuff, oh, you probably mean you like the hard stuff. Yeah. You like the hard stuff. What a quote! Great. Someone quote me on that. Oh, you and your hard science. You've got a problem. Sort it out. Right. Just give me a microphone and weird stuff will happen. What I'm talking about is like I don't subscribe to a lot of this stuff. I've subscribed to 1 or 2 channels that do like the hard stuff, but like, you know, there's there's millions of, you know, stars in the galaxy side of things, and then there's like, you know, real difficult mathematics and equations and science that, you know, isn't entertaining because it's the nitty gritty of it. So anyway, Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. Great book, highly recommended. It's for the curious side of yourself, right? It's not a difficult to listen to book full of hard to understand concepts. It's all about boiling things down to the curiosity level, and that makes it very enjoyable for like an average reader, let's say. Okay, so we've got to do our 2 stacks again from the center. We'll go in a different direction this time. Go this way today. We've already placed 1 though, so let's do that. I'm just thinking this again. 128. No, 135 was our number, and I thought it was 195. Right. Diamond says, I'm subscribed to 2 channels that do the hard stuff. X2008. What did I say? Give me a microphone, weird stuff will happen. Do you read any Marcus Crow books? Bulls? I think you mean books. Not heard of that person. Matter Stream says, why doesn't X show his face? Where did he get all of his redstone knowledge? Why is he interested in organising Hermitcraft events like UHC and minigames? I believe that I found the answer to all of these questions. The point is that Asumovoid is a time traveller, being from the future, and all that he can't reveal is his face, because that will create a time pair of socks. You can't wear a pair of socks. He has way more time to figure out Minecraft, and he may also come from the time where Minecraft became open source. That was a very interesting message. I do indeed spend probably too much time playing this computer game. I'll give you that one. I'm kind of addicted, you know. Sometimes when I'm falling asleep at night, I think about what I'm going to build the next day. You know, that just is what it is. I ain't no. Oh, good. Ah, jeez. I hate this game. Trying to kill me with lava. Alright, let's get back to mining out this quartz. That's one of the side effects of today, is that we get a little bit of quartz on the side. A little bit of quartz action going on over here. Surprise Tolba says, Asuma is the alien from Scream Planet. Scream Planet. No idea. A time pair of socks, says Ninja Kid. You like that one? Who the fork is this Jelly, says Mucked Jelly is the cat of Good Times with Scar. Highly encourage y'all to go and vote for Jelly to be put into the game. That would be a wonderful thing to Scar to have. We got noises in the ear. It's TCNJ subscribing with Amazon Prime, and also the Perpendicular Penguin. The Perpendicular Penguin is here subscribing with the Prime. Thank you ever so much for the support. We got Sass9602 gifting a sub to Platypus Prince number 13. So thank you ever so much, Sass, for gifting the sub. And Platypus Prince, hope you're enjoying the stream. You're now a subscriber here. As always, thank you everyone for the support. Cuplex says, don't talk about quartz. Spangle will go crazy again. She just got back from her second quartz rehab session. Jeez. I mean, Spangle's probably suffering from yesterday's hidden bonus stream. What's that? Hidden bonus stream? Yeah, yesterday I played a game about killing rabbits. It was a good game. It didn't have to be about killing rabbits. They were just little pixely things on the screen, I guess. It was a puzzle game, but it sort of took the shape of another game called Kingdom. So it was actually really quite different from that game overall, because it was actually just a puzzle game. But it was super good fun to do a chilled, relaxed stream. That was literally like the only 2 hours I could really afford from that day to relax. And I thought, actually, I'm going to do a stream. Did you just say hidden bonus stream? Says Bev, Star Runner. What is on your mind? What is on your mind? Hidden bonus. Bonus, not boner. Hidden bonus stream, jeez. Come on now. Kingdom was fascinating, says Jared. Yeah, it's one of those games that's definitely, fascinating, of course. Really interesting when it's first sort of out there, you know. But then it doesn't, I don't know, it does have a bit of replay value, but once people start like really getting into the mechanics of it, kind of loses its charm a little bit. Like, I enjoyed that game, then I started watching videos of people who had sussed it all out, and it immediately like took the fun out of the game. I guess what I'm saying is, once you know the game inside out, like it kind of ruins the experience a little bit. Like, once you know Minecraft inside out, it's the opposite. It's like the game is better the more you know about it, because it enables you to do more. But with Kingdom, it's like you're kind of solving the puzzle and seeing the best strategy. 86 levels of XP, better go to the Nether, says Diamond. I mean, I don't need these XP levels, do I? What's XP? It's just, throw it away. What's the meaning of pair of socks? Sorry, I'm from Indonesia, says Stephen Luco. It's a joke. It sounds a little bit like paradox. So you have a time paradox, or you have a time pair of socks that you can't put on. Now, why can't you put on those time pair of socks? Because a paradox is like a thing that... What's a good example of a paradox, actually? Like, can I travel back in time and kill myself? No, because then I wouldn't have invented the time machine to travel back and kill myself, right? That's sort of it. That's sort of the thing, shorter games like that. Minecraft is endless, whereas Kingdom has a start and a finish. That's true, Jared, but what I meant is in terms of replaying. So it's also a game where you don't play it once and then go, oh, I'm done. Like, depending on how good you are at sussing stuff out, if you're really, let's say you're really brain smarty and you suss out games really quick, then maybe you play it 5 or 6 times, right? But let's say you're not so good, you're going to play it maybe 10, 15 times. It's that kind of game, right? Like, the replay value is sort of finite, but depending on how quick you can figure it out, you'll have to play it for less. So as soon as I started watching these, like, because I only had so much time to play, because I'm, full-time YouTuber, I gotta spend my time wisely. I only had so much time I could put into playing that game and making some videos. So once I got to the point where it was like, I can't really make more videos on this game now, then I started looking up other people playing it, and that's what ruined it. Like, because then I saw them explaining all the answers. Is this ghast helping us get rid of the netherrack? We got a noise in the... Oh, jeez, that's the wrong... Oh, jeez, I fell down. We got a noise in the ear. It's King of the Road 40. Are you King of the Road? Are you the 40th King of the Road, or are you King of the Road named Road 40? I don't know. Thank you so much for your subscription. I appreciate you using the Amazon Prime over here on twitch.tv/Asuma, where the ghast be ghasting. Stop be ghasting me, ghast. Get wrecked. Get wrecked, sucker. Will there be a time-lapse building of the Nether hub, says Spacebar? No, there'll be no time-lapse of it. It's too big for a time-lapse. You wouldn't even fit. You can't even fit the Nether hub in the view distance. It's that big. This is no time-lapse friendly type of build. We also got Hega Veggie. Hega Veggie has subscribed. Hopefully I haven't butchered your name, my friend. There is a significant chance that I have, so I apologise in advance. I hope you're enjoying the stream today. We're listening to some New Crinkles, by the way, as well. New Crinkles soundtrack is out, number 21. Peeps, if you're enjoying the music you're hearing, you can do the Googles for the Crinkles on the Bandcamps. That's the way it goes. We got another noise in the ear. It's Frederica 163. Frederica 163. Thank you ever so much for your subscription. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. Chilling out on a Saturday morning. I've got a busy day ahead of myself, things to do. Speaking of which, I've got to work out. I work out pretty much every day of the week. And I have rather spontaneously decided that I am going to start eating some of these like chocolate energy bar things, right? Because I was looking at the ingredients on them, and they are low in sugar and high in protein. And I don't know how healthy they are in comparison to perhaps being able to cook a meal that seems to have a substantially large, higher amount of protein. In my quest to figure things out about health and diet, exploring the interwebs for information, constantly finding contradictions, finding information that cancels the other thing you learned out. So one of the things that I once learned that I now question is that actually, like, you know, where can I get this verified? I heard a so-called medical professional saying that your body can only get through 3 grams or something like that, a certain amount of protein per day, and that the average person gets all of that protein from a reasonably healthy diet. Because there is actually protein in lots and lots of things. Alright, so it's become a bit of a buzzword. You might notice some, like, I think even like proper chocolate bars are actually now sort of like high protein on it. Anyway, I spontaneously decided that I was going to give these things a try. I've heard some people say good things about them in like the bodybuilding community, and some people say bad things about them. I thought I'll just give it a try, and so I brought a bunch. They're very expensive though. They're quite pricey, that's one thing I will say. Anyway, anyone out there who does weightlifting have any... Do you know about palm oil and other products? If so, are you against it? Do you check it out? And if it's in products? I've heard about the whole palm oil thing, I just can't remember what I heard. I knew it was a thing to know something about, let's say that. And I've only heard it discussed a couple of times. But yeah, I'm aware that palm oil, there's something to do with that. I need to educate myself more on that by the sounds of it. I thought it was 75 grams, says Zen Beachy. Wow. That's a lot. So do you know what? I need to just do some direct research again. Let's make a notepad. So I need to look up palm oil, because I know there's something about palm oil and avoiding it or consuming it or whatever. And grams of protein per day. Because I wanna bulk up. I really enjoy working out, and I kinda want to go a bit further with it at the moment. I always feel really good from a hard workout, and so I'm interested in pushing myself a bit further. And so I was thinking, well, why don't I try and like bulk up, and it'll make it a bit easier to lift heavier weights and whatnot. So I kind of want to learn about it. Anyway, anyone in chat who's got some knowledge on the how. Surprise Toba says, what's healthier, chocolate bars or chocolate tiles? I don't know, but if you're questioning the nature of them being chocolate bars, I'll explain that in a second. Double Moses says protein bars are good if you need a quick boost to hit a protein goal, but don't feel like eating a... Oh, and that one went off the screen. Yeah, so it sounds like I need to probably balance how much of that protein I actually need. That's a very good point, because I think the bar that I had like 20 grams of protein. And maybe some of that protein isn't getting used. So what happens to your body when it's digesting and using up protein you don't actually need? That would be worth knowing, because there might be some negative sides to that, I guess. Something to consider. Don't use palm oil, the industry is destroying forests to grow them. Ah, the kids. Yeah, that sounds very familiar now. That sounds very familiar. The old destroying of the environment. Yeah, maybe that's where I heard palm oil discussed before. You can't eat enough protein. Your body just won't use the protein it doesn't need. Yeah, but Henry, what you got to think is, what then happens? So, like, you can obviously imagine the difference between eating 100 grams of protein that your body can't use, or 100 grams of sugars, or 100 grams of carbohydrates. Like, I'm interested in knowing what happens then, so I can make a healthy decision. If it turns out your body's really good at getting rid of waste protein, then you don't have to stress or worry about it. Let's say it's like sugar, and all that excess sugar will just become body fat and it's not very good for you. Then obviously I need to be worried about it and be like, right, I need to make sure I'm consuming the right amount of stuff of this. So I need to be in the know, you know, of what's going to happen with my body. Eras says, if you consume amino acids, there are 9 essential amino acids that your body needs for survival. You want to maximize leucinin, as this amino acid stimulates muscle growth. I have never heard that before. I've heard amino acids discussed a lot. Aren't amino acids like for digesting food, like a balance of acids that help digest food. That's what I thought they were. I also found a series, someone sent me a series of like scientific studies that concluded that being vegetarian did not mess with your amino acid levels as long as you were a healthy vegetarian. Like if you're like a vegetarian who eats microwave food, then yeah, you might have some problems. But yeah, I found that interesting. This is boring. I'm trying to make you sad, says Terrace Queen. You can't bring me down. Now I've got that Suicidal Tendencies song in my head. That's a great like chest pumping song. I love that sort of music that's like, you know, strength and power and you can't bring me down. I can't even sing like that guy. I don't know why I'm trying. I've got a stupid amount of noises in my ear. Oh, actually, it's just 3 that I'm behind of. Missile File is here, resubscribing for 3 months in a row with, actually not with the Amazon Prime, but Keru Sue and Big Papa Moo are here, resubscribing with the Amazon Prime. Thank you, everyone, as always, so much for your support. Truly appreciate it. It is really wonderful to do this streaming. I hope you're all enjoying hearing X talking about protein and food today. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, I did say I'd come back to talking about the chocolate bars, so it doesn't sound like a great thing that these protein bars are chocolate bars. You know, you associate bodybuilding and protein with like health and chocolate. Obviously, chocolate bars are not healthy snacks. I think the deal with them is when you're intaking a thick wedge of protein, like that is not an easy taste to take down. Like your body kind of resists it a little bit. And I also brought some peanut butter, which is 33% protein and has no added sugar that I could tell, other than sort of it didn't have sugar listed anywhere. I need to read it again because I'm like, surely it's got sugar in. But I guess the flavour of peanut and the natural sweetness of a peanut perhaps is where I'm sensing like the nice flavour. I don't have a lot of sugar in my diet anyway, so you know, things that don't have sugar in can sort of taste sweet, if that makes sense. Anyway, so this peanut butter, I like use some of it, and you can feel, just like in these chocolate bars, when you're having these protein products, you feel this thickness between what you're eating. You're tasting these flavours, but in there's also like this thickness. Almond butter is better, bro, says Taboo. Almond butter, I'm going to get some of that. I'm just in the mood for trying stuff now, because I heard all about the benefits of almond butter. Although I never use butter with anything is another thing to mention. Like, I don't butter sandwiches. I don't bother with it because it's 99%, you know, not what you need. So, you know, butter always seems to be there as like an intermediary, right? I just cut out the butter. No butter. Double Moses says, peanut butter is good. You got to remember those healthy fats when bulking up. I like to eat some avocados as well. I mean, I wanted to bulk up the muscles, not the fat in the body, just the muscles. Almond butter is pretty disgusting, says I Love Cats. Oh dear. Oh dear. Try chocolate with 87% sugar. I heard it's really healthy, says Crafty McFish. Yeah, so I've been eating dark chocolate because everyone loves chocolate, surely. But I've been eating dark chocolate because, you know, cocoa is supposed to actually be pretty healthy food to have every now and then. And you can get dark chocolate that's like, you know, 95% or whatever. And I found some 100% the other day, and I ate it, and honestly, I thought, is this really 100%? This is really tasty. And usually it's on the bitter side. Maybe I'm just becoming really accustomed to the taste of dark chocolate, but I was eating 100%. When you looked at the ingredients, it literally just said dark cocoa, and that was it. There was no sugar, there was nothing else. I was thinking, is this for real? And yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's really tasty. Aussie for Life says, eat healthy, stay fit, die anyway. I'd rather enjoy life than eating cardboard. Ah, you see, Aussie, I think you've sort of encapsulated a misconception of what eating healthy and staying fit does for you. Like, you will die anyway, but the quality of life when you are fit and healthy, both mentally and physically, is so good. It's so much easier to keep your mind in a good place when you're physically fit. You know, your body's constantly naturally rewarding you for working out and exercising, and it gives you, doing those things gives you strength of mind as well. It gives you this attitude of being able to do things that you apply to other things in your life. And also the fact that you're being healthy, like that increases the lifespan that you have, you know. There's a common thing amongst groups of people who live long. They've noticed that people who don't eat a lot of meat live longer. There was some religious groups in America, evangelical. I think they describe them as evangelical, but part of their, you know, distinction from other religious groups is that they were strictly against eating meat, and that the actual way of their religion was to eat very healthily, you know, whole foods and fresh foods. And the community has people that live well into the 90s and 100s, and they use it, like, it often gets used as an example to say, you know, like, hey, don't eat meat or whatever. But there's definitely some correlation there. Sass says, I completely disagree with that, X, but that might just be because of me being a ex-PTSD patient now. Well, I can't speak to anyone else's experience or certain situations or circumstances, but it's a common theme within the health community that people talk about how being in shape and stuff helps you mentally and is like enriches your life. And sure, there's people that try it and it doesn't work for them. But I am so one of those people who totally didn't get it and was on the other side of the fence. This is stupid. Why are you wasting your time running? And now I'm on the other side, and I look back at like my 20s, my early 20s and teenage years, and I'm like, I wish I could go back to then and just like run every day. Like, you know, I didn't understand it then, but now that I've actually done it and stuck with it, it's like a way of life now. It's a lifestyle. CN Chrisnos Rap says, my grandma ate bacon and butter every day from the farm and she was 105. Yeah, that's one person though. The idea, the thing with why this community gets cited a lot is because you can say, oh, I know someone who smoked until they were 110. And like, yeah, it will happen. You know, if you take millions of people who smoke, right, a lot of them will die from smoking. Some will make it to 100 or more. So the reason that community gets cited is because that is not one person. That is not an individual example. That is a group of people sharing a lifestyle and consistently reaching, you know, certain ages, certain health benefits because of it. That is why it's cited a lot, you know. Joseph says, can I post a link about protein? Better to send me a tweet, which I will read later today when I do some research on it. X, why don't you put the half slabs in your other hand like normal people? Because y'all want to see some light, right? Do y'all want some light here in the Nether, or should I just get rid of the sea lantern? That's what I need to know. Hey X, is the Nether hub a circle or square? It's a square diagonal, so I don't know if that makes it a diamond, but it's that shape. Right, like you're seeing me outline a rough edge. This is actually a little bit smaller than it's going to be. And that being said, I thought Mumbo's portal would be inside. What did we do? 128 blocks from -40. Oh, now I'm wondering. We definitely did 128 blocks this direction from the center, which was -40, which puts us at, yeah, like there's 128. There was already one there. That's correct. That's definitely correct. So we only get to go an extra 5. So Mumbo might actually be slightly out of the hub. Huh. I thought he was in the hub. Oh well. Right, we got noises in the air. We got I Love Cats doing cheers throwing bits saying, when I went to the gym with a personal trainer, he said I should eat a good I should eat a good meal 2 hours before. If not, I can eat either 2 dates or a protein bar. And he's a bodybuilder. So I think it means it's good. But then again, I don't recall, you know, just a messenger. Cats, as always, appreciating your support with the cheers and the bits. I would always like avoid the idea of going to the gym and encountering someone who, like, on day one is going to be like, right, we're going to get you eating this, we're going to get you doing these things and those things. Like, I think easing your way into things is better, especially if you're skeptical of it all, right? And maybe, hey, maybe one day I'm going to be on like a tight schedule where, you know, I'm eating a protein bar at this hour, but I've always just done it in steps. I've always just like tried to learn, understand, feel comfortable, and do things in steps. So, like, let's say we go back half a year, maybe a little bit longer than that. I wasn't doing intermittent fasting. I was just eating whenever, and it wasn't ever, you know, timed around when I work out or anything like that. Peeps are saying 135. Yeah, so here is 128 plus 7. Mumbo looks like he might be on the very edge of it, I guess. Being healthy as a bodybuilder is an entirely different thing to being healthy as a normal individual, says Toxic End User. Yeah, you might be right, but it depends what sort of ends of bodybuilding we're talking about. Like, I don't want to look like The Rock or anything, you know. I just enjoy working out and feel like I want to maybe go a little bit further with it because it makes me feel good, and where I've over the last few months really upped the amount that I do. I've upped the frequency, I've upped the weight, I've upped the amount of repetitions. All that's ever done is just made me enjoy it more and more, and so I kind of want to continue. But yeah, back to what you were saying, Cats. Like, I would always just ease people in, like become comfortable with things one step at a time, you know. And so if someone, like, let's say, you know, someone comes to me and, can I use your equipment? Because I don't go to a gym, I've got my own equipment. I would just start them off with something simple, like start with the bar low, and, you know, build it upwards over time. You could just start off by doing, you know, some basic, you know, bench pressing and some stuff with the dumbbells, flies, whatever. Just do some basics and see if you like it, and do it and get a little bit better with it. Let's Dot says you missed the eye break. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for an eye break. People want me to look away. That's what they want me to do. They want me to take a break from playing this game, and that's what I'm doing. Do you know why? Because those eye doctors, they say if you stare at a computer screen for an hour, take 5 minutes off, rest thy eyes. It'll be good for your eyes in the long run. Yeah. I'm not going to take 5 minutes, Doctor. I've got a stream to do. That was about 30 seconds, maybe not even then. Bonnie says, how much do you bench? I don't really bench a lot. Also, due to the amount of equipment that I have, I can't, like, in order to, like, I would have to take off and put on, like, different weights every time I bench pressed. Yeah, because I only have, well, actually, I do have more than one barbell, but for the space that I have, like, I only keep one barbell in the room. And therefore, I don't really bench press a lot. I bench press the same amount that I can lift up with a front raise row, and that's because I don't want to, like, have to constantly swap off the weights or not. It's not a lot. I think it's like 60 kilograms or something. Just trying to remember the weights. I think it's probably more like 60 or 70. And I added a couple of kilograms extra the other day as well. I brought some really small weights because I like to increase kind of slowly, because I don't know, I don't like taking risks with it at all. If I do anything that works out my back, I can feel back pains quite easily. So I'm very cautious of how I you know, advance. I do try and always do it safe. I don't try and, like, really go and, you know, rip my body or anything. I'm always trying to be in control. Maxim says, hi X, I train. Slow and consistent is the way to go. It stops multiple injuries. Also, don't forget to stretch and warm up before and after workouts. I appreciate that. Yeah, I need to remind myself of that. I do a little bit of warming up before working out, but it's not proper. I'm trying to develop more of a routine where I do a little bit of cardio as well. Yeah, I really should get into the habit of, like, stretching a little bit more before I work out. That's some good advice. Yeah, and slow and consistent. That's what I like doing. I kind of want to be able to push myself a little bit further at the moment, and I feel like what I might need is some more mass. That's why I've been interested in these protein bars and stuff. I also got a kettlebell. I can't wait to start using that. That's supposed to be good for some full body workout, which sounds fun. I need a better username. Says one of the biggest misconceptions is that cardio helps you lose weight. Cardio helps stamina, your heart and your lungs, but it definitely does not help lose weight a bit. I would disagree with what you're saying there, but I understand what you're saying. If you do cardio, if you go for a run every day, it will undoubtedly help you lose weight because the activity burns calories. You're right in saying it helps with stamina, of course, but it can burn calories as well. What muscle does that cardio doesn't is that it puts muscle mass on your body, and every day your body requires calories to maintain your muscle mass. So it's why bodybuilding helps you lose weight, because you are going to naturally burn off chemicals without having to do too much from the mass of the muscle, right, and the maintenance that it requires. Jeez, I broke that. So yeah, if you want to lose weight, cardio is great. I mean, you should be doing cardio anyway. Like, it gets your heart in good condition and you know, keeps it healthy and active. But to say that it doesn't help you lose weight is kind of missing the point. How do you gain weight, says Colonel? If you're interested in gaining weight, obviously eating more is a thing, but I think everyone knows that. So if you're struggling to put on weight and you really want to, and you're like eating more, I know a couple of people that have had that problem, and I don't really know much about it. I can't say much other than I would perhaps look at it from a like a professional standpoint. Maybe go to a doctor, because that's a whole different kettle of fish that I really don't know about. But in the times that I've sort of encountered people struggling with that or heard about it, it's usually more of a medical problem or something that you're going to need help with, like maybe you have an eating disorder, something like that. Surprise Thomas says eating more make you get weight and fat. Sort of. Well, you know, eat a cake every day. Put a whole cake on top of your diet every day. What's going to happen? You know what's going to happen. But let's say you are doing that and you're not getting... I would just like to say, I have no idea why I decided to sleep. Oh my goodness me, that's like a mega derp. I have no idea why I instinctively thought I needed to sleep then. I think my brain wires just got crossed. That's one way to lose weight, says Nurse Lucy. Love it. Love it. Oh my goodness me. I do not know why I pulled out the bed and slept in it. I think it just lost in my own talking. My brain just went into some automatic, do this thing, do that thing. That was the stupidest thing ever. Well, that was amazing. Made my day, says MJ Taylor. I'm glad it made your day. Hey, if that made some people's day, that's wonderful. By the way, I'm really behind on the noises in the ear because we've been waffling. James on Fire is here, resubscribing for 32 months in a row, saying, X, you can only absorb a certain amount of protein. There is a way of calculating how much protein you can absorb by your weight. Look for a protein calculator online. If you have too much protein, it goes straight through you. Awesome. Thank you for that. Right, I will look up a protein calculator. I also want to verify about the whole going straight through you thing. Now, would have any of my items landed on this fire? I'm kind of glad that this area was surrounded by slabs, because, you know, fire bad and all that. we have now unintentionally wrecked this hub, which is not a problem because it's not going to be permanent. Right, so I'm running into a bit of a problem here with equipment and whatnot. Let's make sure we pick up all of our things. Kind of looks like we kept everything. That's terrific. Let's use F3 and B to scout for any things that we may have accidentally missed. Mostly looks good. Did anything go over here? No, we look like we picked up everything. None of these shulker boxes should have blown up, so we kept that. Okay, we lost the bed. You know, I'm fine with that. We lost the bed. That's fair enough. Feel like I deserve to lose the bed, to be honest. Building blocks go in here. So we have 2 more, and then we have that. Right, and there's my 2 spaces. So we didn't lose a single thing. And what I will now do is at least try and make this a little less... Why did I sleep in the bed? That's such a strange instinct. Like, Okay, this is ridiculous at this point. We'll come back here later and make this a bit more walkable. Why? Why though? Why did I just... What was I going to do? That's the other thing. I can't even remember what I came back here for. I probably literally came to pick up some slabs, and somehow in my brain I decided that actually I was here to sleep. Oh, how does one get weight without losing good shape? Says Surprise Tulpa. Oh, so you want to have weight, but you don't want to, you know, widen out. Muscle mass is probably... Muscle mass is heavy, so that way you can stay slim and muscular. Like, for me, when I started wanting to lose weight, I was around 11 stone. Well, I say started, like, this is a long process. Anyway, let's say I've maintained my own weight. Yeah, I've got a lot slimmer, but the muscles are heavier. So I put on muscle, and therefore, yeah, that already made sense. I don't need to clarify any further, do I? Right, let's catch up with these noises in the ear. Manom Dog is here, subscribing with the Amazon Prime. Manom Dog, thank you ever so much for subscribing. I appreciate your subscription. I hope you're enjoying the stream. I need to sort out my hotbar here, definitely. And I shall now quickly mention that you can subscribe with Amazon Prime to someone on Twitch. Doesn't have to be me, it can be anyone you like. Maybe it's DocM77, who later on is streaming and doing a charity giveaway stream. So we have 1,300 people here watching and listening to the Derp, the man who sleeps in the Nether while he waffles about muscles and working out. Jesus, it's a strange combination of things over here. Yeah, so DocM is doing a charity stream later today. It will be after this stream, so if you stick around to the end of it, we'll be raiding Doc. He's got all this giveaway stuff prepared. He's going to be raising money for charity. He's going to be streaming on Hermitcraft, so please, you know, stick around and help support Doc. Doc is a legend. If you do not know, if it weren't for that guy, I might not be here today. Seriously, like when I was starting on YouTube, he gave me a shout out. He sent some viewers my way, and that helped get the ball rolling. So who knows, if he hadn't have done that, none of this might be happening right now. So big shout out to Doc, of course. Oops. What else are we going to mention? We're approaching 9,000 people in our Discord community. We're not there yet. We would like to get over 9,000. If you would like to help us get over 9,000, then come join our Discord community and hang out with like-minded derp fiends. That's right, derp fiends. I know what your favourite part of the stream was. It wasn't the bit with some interesting life advice. Oh no, it was when that idiot slept in a bed in the Nether. That was your favourite bit, wasn't it? Bunch of derp fiends, jeez. Anyway, that's me doing my plugs. Also, you'll see in chat, if you haven't seen it yet, be on the lookout for it. There is a vote for the cat skin, for the next cat skin in Minecraft. And good times to Scar, who plays here on the server. Amazing, wonderful person, amazing Minecraft builder. His cat Jelly is in the run to be the next skin added for the cat. And I'd love to see that happen. So if you want to go vote for Jelly, that would be greatly appreciated. Scar truly deserves it, you know. Right, let's do that. Awesome. Right, I think we did all the noise in the ear things that we needed to do. We've got a donation here from I Love Cats saying that trainer was actually not one of those enthusiasts who tried to kill you in the first day. He really eased me into it. He said, if you don't feel like it, I can do it. Wait, if you don't feel like it, if you don't feel like I can do it, I can always stop. He basically showed me how to use the machines and not hurt myself. Oh, that's really good then. It's just the other little bit of information gave me the impression that's your first time there, and he's sort of trying to get you to eat a protein bar or something, you know. That's really good that you got a trainer like that then, Cats, because that's what I would encourage, you know, ease people into it, show them the ropes. Let's not go, you know, crazy trying to destroy someone on the first day. Yeah. X, are you ever going to use Harmony, says Gamer Tiger? I don't know. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what happens, right? I'd like to use it, but... yeah, did I write down the protein stuff? I got totally distracted. So, protein calculator. And then excess protein. I want to verify that if I go over, it's not a problem, because... Yeah, I need to know if I need to calculate carefully or if I can just wing it a bit, you know. Dragonmate says it's a great website for tracking nutritional information. Highly recommended. MyFitnessPal. Okay, I'll check that out. Check that out. I've really tried to, in the past, get into, you know, looking at the back of packets, understanding what I'm reading. Such a slow thing to learn, but I just feel more and more of a drive lately to understand that stuff. Ah, now look at where this is a bit of good bad right here. At first I'm like, oh, that's great. Iscal's portal is outside of the hub, but then, well, actually no, I can think of a positive here. So then again, I'm thinking, well, now the view from his area is that he sees this big ugly box sitting outside. But what Iscal could do here is imagine there are some big diagonal walls that are going up about 50 blocks into the sky here, because that's how big the hub's going to be. Iscal could open one of these walls and just have a big flying area that goes down to the front of this. It would probably ruin the charm of the lava lake. Do you know what? I don't actually know if that's a good idea or not. But it definitely changes the aesthetic of what's going on over here. Terrace Queen says stop. Stop? You want me to stop streaming? Oh, jeez. We got a noise in the ear donation here. By the way, Cats, thank you for your donation. As always, it's appreciated. Joel Kip is here saying, if the jelly skin makes it into the game, will you put a cat in water and name tag it jellyfish? Cats in water will die, unfortunately, in the latest snapshot. Don't know if that was intentional or not, but it sort of seemed intentional. Jellyfish, that's a great one, though. I think if it gets added into the game, like, not only will there be, like, Scar will obviously build something in-game for Jelly, but I think us Hermits should build maybe, like, a little area where we can put, like, a jelly shrine and maybe put some other fun stuff there. And there will definitely be some opportunities for puns, right? Some jellyfish puns. I like it, Jolkip. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's something we've got to remember for the future. The old jellyfish. X, how big will the Nether hub be? Says Chili Freak. Would you like me to get out my calculator and do some maths for you? Because when I read that, I was like, I could do some maths to figure this out. How many blocks will it be? That is a great question. I think I can calculate it. So we know it's 105 from 35 from the center. So I think I don't need to do any fancy math to rotate the whole thing. Like to... Yeah, I don't need to do any fancy math because it's on a diagonal. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. So 270 across. 270 times by 270 is the amount of blocks we have on the floor space. So I have to place 72,000 of these slabs, essentially. That's how big this hub is going to be. Now, we're going to multiply that number by, there's about 4 blocks for the bottom area, and then it's going to be 40 blocks tall. Let's round it up to 45. So, if I multiply that number, woo! Jeez, people! It's a big number. Do you know what? I think I'm going to do a poll. Can we do it? Oh, they removed the poll feature, didn't they? Oh, that slobs. Oh, this free program. Taking away the features that I use. There's no poll feature anymore. I was gonna make your guess. Peeps, 3,280,500 blocks is a pretty accurate estimate of how big this hub is. Goodness me, think of all the things you could do with that many blocks. You could build a Nether hub with that many blocks. That was a terrible joke. Alright, I like that there's a big... Oh! Oh, the pucker! The pucker was real. I like that there's a big... Oh, did I get a bit funky somewhere around here? No, that little bit there just threw me off. It kind of look... Yeah, when you got gaps like that, it makes it look like you've gone over when you haven't. X, you're building a diamond, not a square. 270 by 270 is too big. Yes. No, I now see the error of my way. You're absolutely right. So, actually, we could probably divide that number by 2 and it would be pretty accurate, right? Because, like, a diamond out of a square shape, like, picture that as part of a square. I'm going to guess that the shape on the outside would be equal to the shape on the inside there, like that quarter. So I've actually calculated a big square with a diamond in it. So if we halve it, I think that's actually more accurate. So 1,640,250. It's not as big, but it's still well over 1 million. Terrace Queen says, X, please calm down. Alright, my friends, let's continue placing these blocks. It's time for the calmer part of the stream. We have noise in the ears. No, we don't have any noise in the ears. Surprise Tolpa says, X, what's the best way to exercise if it's really torturous, even on the long distance? I can't even be bothered to talk like this. It's just not fun. I'm not enjoying trying to be a silly goofball doing boring voice. Terrace Queen. No, not Terrace Queen. Surprise Tolpa. Just keep trying different exercises. There's running, there's cycling, rowing. There's so many things. If you try something that doesn't work out for you, don't give up. Just keep trying something different. And keep trying to get into the whole exercise thing. Another thing I think as well that helps is to have a positive attitude towards it. A lot of the times it's a mental game. I went from like running out of feeling like I need to get in shape and running sucks but it'll work, to slowly starting to enjoy it, to being like, okay, right, it sucks, but after it, don't I feel good once you finish that run? And then sort of getting more to a point of like, I like running, right? But even then, like I could feel like slacking off some days, and it took me like years to get to this point where it's now like a ritual. It's like I just do this every day. This is what I do, and I want to do it. So, you know, me talking about that isn't particularly helpful. I just think you want to go into it with a good attitude of like, let's do this now, one thing at a time. Try and find something that I can get into a rhythm of doing. And hey, it might suck now, you might not enjoy it now, but keep at it because you know it's good for you. And maybe one day you'll get to a place where, you know, it's not really a problem to exercise. X, you just motivated me to exercise, says LoveForgedCraft. That's good to hear, man. Give it a shot. You know, do some press-ups, do some squats, go for a cycle, have a jog, move your body about. Another thing though is motivation. That's a key word. Like I've talked about it many times for both work, like this. When I say work, you know, Minecraft and working out. It's like I don't want to be motivated to do something. I just do it, right? Because the motivation, that feeling of being in the moment, comes and goes. But if you just do it and you keep at it, then you always enjoy it. But it didn't matter that you were motivated or not, right? It's like a mind thing. It's like this knowing what's in your best interest, but do you have the energy to do it? Can you be bothered? You know, like I'm trying to think of an example off the fly, but I think most people understand like that. You know that you could do something that would be in your interest, but you can't be bothered. That feeling of, oh, you know, I don't want to exert energy or whatever. Yeah, so those two different ways of feeling, like, if you do it, if you're motivated or not, you end up with the same feeling after, it feels like, right? Like, oh, I don't feel like going for a run today, or, oh, I really want to go for a run today. You feel the same way after. Doesn't matter how you felt before, you just feel good after. So that's why, like, I think that motivation is another thing mentally for whatever it is you do. Don't have to talk about fitness. Let's say you love painting, right? I really believe in perhaps there's probably a couple of things here that don't quite apply, but like getting over this idea that you need to be motivated and in the moment and inspired to do stuff, like and doing things out of discipline and being like, no, this is what I love, this is what I like doing, and I should turn up and do this every day, because then you'll still enjoy it at the end of it. That's how I feel about that sort of stuff. Roy TJ says, X, are you somewhat bothered with the attitude that Wells has towards the Nether Hub? I mean, not with him wanting to help anymore. Wells has not expressed not wanting to help anymore, and if he has, then he was helping us the other night when we were figuring out our plans for the Nether Hub, so I don't know what that's about. Joel Kip says, if you ever need some good motivation for doing exercises, try some gamification. Give yourself points for doing your exercises and give extra points for not missing exercises for a week. Then set some goals for nice things you want to do And when you earned enough points, I got 2 points today for doing my exercises, and when I have 500 points, I'm going to buy a new PC. That's such a great way, Jolkip. That's such a great idea. And there are actually apps out there for helping you do that. I remember this app, I don't know if I'm remembering the name correctly, but it was called something like RPG Life, and it was a tool for creating an RPG level up stats interface for yourself. Like, you would have a level, you would have numbers for different things, and then you could define what the areas were, you could give yourself goals, and then you could set up the app to remind you of what you needed to do. And yeah, and people expressed having a great time using it. Now, I have given it a shot in a little way. I have also tried things that are similar, like using GPS tracking apps, which I did recently. That actually helped me kind of get to a new level with my running, but I reverted to the old way of doing things, which is I like to push myself based on how I feel on the day. So I don't actually get like a good response from the Gamify. I feel very much encouraged and, you know, given that drive to do things, or when you're doing it, by how it feels. Like, that's where I feel like I have my connection. I don't feel like if I gamify what I'm doing, like the amount of reps or anything, I don't think that actually gives me what I need to do it. I get my thing from the feeling, right? So when I'm running, it's a lot of the time it's like about how I feel I can push myself on the day. And I've been doing a lot of running on the running machine, and setting up this really good situation at the moment where I'm constantly running for 40 minutes without a problem, and that's at about 7.1 miles per hour is my new standard. So I've sort of gone up from just under 7 to 7.1, you know, and I'll be over the months slowly pushing that forwards. But I also do some sprinting as well once I've done my 40 minutes. So I'm running for 45, and when I sprint I go up to like 10, and I do like, you know, 30 seconds at 10 miles an hour. But all of that is kind of born out of just feeling where I'm at on the day, and then pushing myself a little further if I can. That just feels like what works for me. There was another point I was going to make there. Oh yeah, and I also feel like it's really good actually to know what your level is. Like, where are you? Because once I did that GPS, I did some GPS running and kind of went from running about 30 minutes to like 40. And now that I've got that like number in my head, it means when I'm sort of feeling like I'm on the treadmill and it's like, oh, this is you know, this is tough, man, I feel like slowing down. And it's always like, no, keep going to that 40 minutes, keep going. And it's like this marker. And then when you get close to it, you start to think, actually, this wasn't so bad. And then you pass it and you're like, I don't want to get off now. Like, I want to prove to myself that I can do more because I've gotten here. And so, yeah, that's the mindset that helps me do running. That's just the way my brain works for this stuff, I guess, is what I'm describing. We got a noise in here from Jackie Boy 432. Resubscribing for 4 months in a row. Thank you for your resubscription, Jackie Boy. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Having a good time hanging out with the derp who blew himself up in that nether bed. Jeez, that'll never be lived down. That'll never be lived down. Appreciate your support, buddy. Says, hey X, long time fan of your content. What is your favourite kind of gaming style, explorative or settler? Was it between those two? I would probably go with settling, because I like, you reminded me of the game The Settlers immediately. I like building things and creating, probably more so than exploring and looking, especially in Minecraft. Definitely enjoy building more than exploring. So that would be my answer. But in general, when it comes to games, I like games with a challenge and a puzzle most of the time if it's something that I'm going to pick up and play for a while, but I'm not really into games that much. Crazy Nerd Artist says, hey X, have you ever been depressed? If so, do you have any advice for someone who's struggling with depression? I would have considered looking back at myself in the past when I was younger. I would have at times described myself as depressed, but I don't think I have any mental reason to be depressed. Like I don't think it's like a clinical thing. It's like, oh, we looked at your brain and it's not producing this chemical. Like, I don't think it's anything like that. And my advice is literally what we've been talking about all stream. It's just exercise. Like, there are so many ways to take on something like depression. There's, you know, therapy, medication. There's all these different ways, and I think trying to do some of them or one of them is important. Like, to get in your mind that even though you feel this way, you're going to at least try to do something about it, because that in itself is taking a step in the right direction. And then, you know what I'm going to say, exercise. Like, I believe firmly in routine, regular exercise, because your brain rewards you for doing that, and it makes you feel good for doing that. So whatever your depression is about, it feels to me like, or at least from my experiences of things that I felt negative about, things that weren't working for me, that with exercise in my life, it changes the way that I think and feel about those things, and it puts those things into a positive perspective. And so, you know, I'm always gonna like fly that flag, so to speak, for exercise as a solution to everything. But it's just what it's been for me. It's just been absolutely life-changing to get into a healthy physical state, because it changed the mental state as well. Which wasn't actually what I thought it was going to do. I think when I first got into it, it was really just about like being aware that I was. So I'm like a big guy. I'm tall, right? And I was starting to develop a bit of a belly. I don't think I was anywhere near being overweight, but I could definitely have been slimmer, right? And you know, I wanted to get in a better shape and change something there. But when I wanted to do that, I didn't realise it would be transforming mentally as well. Joel Kip says, exercise and some death metal. Nothing beats depression like working out and screaming. Man, I love listening to music when I work out, but it's always got, for me, most of the time, it's always got to be something really aggressive, energetic, vibrant. You know, something like a lot of like aggressive hip hop or death metal, thrash metal, just something really out there. Like Strapping Young Lad is great workout music. Really gets you fired up, and then it becomes like this sonic space that you're in your mind. You're in this zone where you're like pumped up on adrenaline, and oh, it's just wonderful. I don't exercise because I have joints, and this makes me sadder. I believe you mean you have like an issue with your joints. I'm sorry to hear that if that is the case. I don't know what the medical condition is, but maybe there's something out there. Like, always do a little bit of research. Joint pain, got ya. I mean, well, hopefully you've gone to the doctor about it and you know what it is, because the doctor, if you haven't, might have something for you that can help. But I mean, if you've already done what I'm describing, then I'm sorry to hear it, man. But like, if not, you know, do research. There'll be people out there with information on, I have joint pains, but what can I do? And it might turn out there's some clever exercises or things that you could do that could help. But yeah, joints are certainly a key component of moving your body. So Satan is dirty says SYL, horns in the air. I mean, that's just a username that makes sense if you like SYL. Hey Asuma, have you ever watched The Office, Azari? I've watched all of the English and the American Office, and they're two of my most favourite shows ever. Adore both of them. Absolutely adore them. They're great shows. The music you can listen to can change the beat in your heart, says Disco Ninja. There is some truth to that as well. Yeah, okay, so here's something else to consider, right? There's all these different ways that, you know, you might have depression, anxiety. What can you do to help yourself? There's a lot of people that want to do. They reach out on the internet, like we had someone a moment ago. That's a great thing. If you're reaching out, if you're trying, then that's a start. That's somewhere. So speaking of all these different things that you could try, I remember hearing something in a documentary about ambient music that, like, I was just like, whoa, because ambient music has a very calming effect on me, and also a very kind of like, what would be the word? Oh my goodness me, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't quite think of the word, but it's like a very deep connection feeling. Like, it feels like you go deep inside of yourself. You have something almost spiritual going on. And ambient music can come in very many flavors. Ambient is also something that can just apply to another type of genre. Like, you can technically make ambient hip-hop because you can approach the sound of the music in a particular way that leans into the ambient variety of music. Anyway, if you are suffering with like anxiety, or you know, you're on edge a little bit, ambient music, I've heard, can really help calm you down, and I listen to ambient music when I want to chill out, when I want to calm down anyway. So, you know, there's something for anyone who's suffering with something along those lines to give a try. If you go to my music blog, oh, look at this, I'm just using it to promote my music blog, I'm so filthy. On my music blog, I've written about ambient music, but a record in particular I would possibly recommend as a starting place is one by Brian Eno, and I can't quite remember which one it is. Do you know what? I could just fire up my computer and tell you pretty quickly. Like, I could go into my music archive. I believe he is American. Oh no, he's English. Brian Eno's English. I'll go into England. Let's go to Brian. There he is, Brian Eno. And it is... Ah, oh, jeez. I might have the wrong one here. How do I bring up the image? That's it. Okay. Right, I've got the album art. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's this one. And it's called Ambient 2, The Plateau of Mirror. Okay? So if you were interested in anything that I was just saying, you know, get ready to write, get ready to search, Google. Brian Eno, The Mirror of Plateau. It's the second from the Ambient Works selection. And it is genius. It's genius music. If you read about how it was recorded and how they approached it, like, it can be so easy to go, because what you'll hear is a bunch of like gentle piano melodies drifting in and out of existence, and it can be so easy to be like, oh, you're just sort of playing a, you know, little thing on the piano softly. But the thing that's genius about Eno is that, like, people didn't particularly make music with that approach. There was Eric Satie, classical musician from the era, who wrote short sequences on pianos and definitely was one of the first people to kind of envision something along the line of ambience. But Brian Eno's the guy who kind of cracked the vault open, so to speak, on it. And when you read about how he produced this record and how him and this pianist worked together, it becomes really like apparent that there is so much more behind creating something like this. And so their approach was I think it's like the whole thing is actually a jam, and then they've like selected out particular parts, if I'm remembering correctly, but he gets this guy to improvise, and what he works on is the acoustics of the room. They actually put a lot of effort into getting the acoustics of the room right for this piano playing to just sound the right type of dreamy and the right type of, like, you know, mood and tone to create its own little charm, its own little spell on the listeners. Yeah, I really enjoyed reading about that one, actually. Like, it was just fascinating to realise just how much genius there is behind doing some of this stuff. He's the guy who made the Windows 95 startup sound as well, which is a sound like older people will know inside out. Harold Budd and Brian Eno, says Tide Toaster. Yeah, that's the guy. Harold Budd is the one playing the piano, I believe. And it's just really calming, soothing listen. I love it. It's meditative. I put it on every now and then. It's probably been a while since I last actually listened to it. And yeah, it's seriously awesome, that sort of music, you know. And it has some mental and health benefits as well, I believe. I'm a little bit worried. Doc isn't logging on the server yet, and his stream's supposed to start. And I am wondering, is his stream actually on Hermitcraft? Maybe I had the complete wrong idea. I was looking at his tweet that he put it out today, and there was something about having a charity server that goes up. So maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe I've got the wrong stuff in my head. But yeah, Doc will start streaming at some point. I just YouTubed it. It's mesmerizing, says Baby Goth. I'm glad it works for you. Some people will go and listen to something like that and not get it. Some people might have to listen to it a few times, and if you're like me, you can just hear that stuff instantly. It's just like, my brain's already wired for this. Beautiful record. And there's so many different varieties of ambience, and it can be applied to things. So if you like one type of music, there might be an ambient variety. Like, if you're really into drum and bass, just look up ambient drum and bass. That's the thing. Like, and you might just find, hey, there's like a calmer, soothing version of this music that I like. I mean, there's even like ambient black metal and death metal. Not so much death metal, but there's definitely ambient black metal projects out there. So like, black metal is loud and shrill, these distortion guitars, but in a weird way, that music has like a calming quality about it. But then, you know, if you tone down the drums and vocals, and you know, you can bring out like an ambient style. And I'm trying to think of an ambient black metal band. It's not coming to my forehead to the forefront of my mind. But I've definitely got some somewhere in my archive. I'll have to go dig it out. Darren Badger says he just gone live. Time to log on to my other account and get my moderator hat on. Oh, you're a DocM moderator. All right, interesting. That's cool. We got noises in the ear. I believe I've just been waffling for ages, so I missed a few. MP Olsins is here subscribing with the Prime. MP Polsins, thank you so much for your subscription. Sig Jen is here resubscribing for 2 months in a row, saying, hope this Prime subby thing helps you out. Happy to continue. Thrash metal is the best to keep a rhythm. I don't know what the best form of music for keeping a rhythm is, but I love thrash metal. Thrash metal's great. Big fan. Big fan. To me, like, thrash metal is probably the genre that like cracks open the genre that, like we said this a second ago about like Brian Eno cracking out the vault. When it comes to metal, there's this like traditional Iron Maiden sort of type of metal, this like heavy metal streak as they call it. And I feel like thrash metal was the genre to crack it all wide open and give birth to everything we hear today. Like, you know, all your whatever metal band it is that's, you know, going today. Like, I feel like thrash metal kind of birthed all of that in a weird way. Like, it just moved in a direction that enabled so much to come from it. It certainly changed the vibe of metal as well. Like, because metal, a lot of metal bands like Priest and Maiden and Saxon and all these other ones that there were back in the 80s, like it has this sort of sound to it. Dio would be another one that's got this like particular vibe to it, and it's not until thrash metal like emerges that then you can sort of trace all these different sounds within metal kind of being formed after it. That's what I've always thought about thrash metal. To me, it's the one that like gave birth to all the metal that I love today, you know. And of course I love Iron Maiden, I love Priest, those bands are great. But they just got this thing about them that's different from like the newer age of metal. And to those, I can't think of the right words to describe it, but I'm sure some metalheads out there will know what I'm talking about. Slayer says Satan is dirty. Indeed. I mean, I would scream it, but don't want to damage my voice. I used to be one of those nutters that would walk up to people and scream Slayer in their face. I did a little bit of that. Oh, hilarious. Where do I go for politically charged heavy metal these days? Says Diggy David. There's always like a band throwing up some political points here and there, but I can't think of anything. Maybe Prophets of Rage, like not full on metal, but you know, that's basically Rage Against the Machine reunion in a sense. Yeah, Prophets of Rage. Although I didn't think that much of it. Like overall, their album. That came to mind anyway. X, you're missing the epic bagpipe music. The epic bagpipe music? What's this? Theresa May's thrash metal band, says Rosner. What? Is that like a joke? Is that a real thing? Like a joke band that exists? Resnov says, I've been to one Slayer concert and it ended in a bunch of Jehovah's screaming, God will forgive us. And we turned around screaming Slayer back at them. Oh, man. The picketing of stuff like that, I don't even know what to say about that. I wouldn't really care for it much. If someone were picketing me, I'd just go enjoy the gig and then, you know. Dragma says, X, is there any genre of music that's not your cup of tea? Yeah, there is. I can't get into hardstyle. Like, I kind of get it, but I just can't get into it. And also, I really don't like Imagine Dragons. I know there's going to be some people watching that really like them. I just can't get into that band. They had some new songs going on trending recently that I listened to, and I couldn't stand it. It was just, I don't know. To me, it just sounds like emotionally disingenuous. It just feels so deliberately trying to be like an emotional epic, but it feels very hollow at the same time. Resnov says unsub. There you go. Yeah. Hardstyle all sounds the same, says Jimmy. Yeah, it's got a slim palette in which to operate, right? But wow, that upset people. Iluf Cat says, "Geez, how dare you have a different taste in music than me? Unforgivable. I am unsubbing." Yeah, I mean that's it. Like taste is all different, you know. This is just one band that I get asked a lot, I guess, and so it like when I see it on trending, it jumps out at me. And I was listening to them recently, and I really didn't get along with it. I also watched Anthony Fantano's review on it, The Needle Drop, and I think I would say that guy probably hears their music in the same way to me, but I did not bother to listen to the record. I didn't want to bother with it. What do you think of the band Tool, says JM-tastic? Well, I want to go to Download Festival next year, so I should probably start listening to all of their records. I've got 3 or 4 of them, I think, and I've never been able to get into that band, but I might just have to, like, you know, force myself, because there's going to be an opportunity to see them live now. Right, these 3 go back into there. Hopefully I'll get on here later today and tidy this up, but I have to go as of right now. Yeah, I'm going to tidy this off camera. That's what I'm going to do. Peeps, it's the end of the stream, and we're raiding Doc M. As I've discussed, he's doing his charity stream, so I'm going to send you over there. Thank you, everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. As always, I appreciate your support. I'll be back soon with another live stream. And right now, we're going to be raiding Doc. Please stick around and go support his charity stream. He's doing a huge event. So I'll be sending you over there. But that's it from me. And I'll see you all soon. And if you're a staff member, there's a staff meeting, as Katz points out. Anyway, see you soon for the staff meeting. Staff. Right, that's it. See you later. Bye-bye.